welcome to CtrlAlt Human, place to wrinkle our brains and, update the mental software. In today's video, we're going to be talking about something a little bit more personal. We're going to be talking about something that everybody who's reached adulthood, and I know I'm projecting in mind reading a little bit on this one, but everybody has experienced a broken heart. Everybody has experienced that kind of loss, that kind of grievance. Now, in this video, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk a little bit about the science, and we're going to talk about how to move forward, how to move on once one's world has been shattered. Because that's what people tell us. People tell us to move on, to suck it up, gut up, get over it. But really what they don't tell you is, probably actually because they don't know, is how to do it. Believe it or not, actually, in the brain, when you stub your toe, when you jam your knee, when you fall off your bike, any kind of physical trauma, the neural circuitry that is activated during a physical trauma when you get hurt is actually the same neural circuitry that is activated when your heart is broken, when you experience a loss or a grievance. The body, however, the body goes through kind of more of a traumatic thing. When we're in love, when we're on this nice little champagne supernova of oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin. Now, oxytocin is our love hormone. That's what makes us feel those feelings of warmth, those feelings of connectedness to another person, those feelings of attachment. Serotonin and dopamine are both happy hormones. Now, when we're riding this nice little high, when we're in love, life is great. Life is beautiful. The sun is out, the birds are singing, Snow White is skipping around somewhere, I don't even know. Life is good. But then all of a sudden it happens. Or maybe not all of a sudden, maybe it's been building to this point, but it happens. The relationship is over. Our heart is broken. That love tap is shut off, and our bodies are now flooded with epinephrine and cortisol. Now, epinephrine is your body's natural adrenaline. Cortisol, however, is responsible for your body's stress response. It's actually very, very useful, because what it does, not right now, but what it does to be useful is that it diverts all of the blood from your body directly to your muscles, such that you can fight or flee or do whatever it is you need to do to survive. However, our heart's been broken. We're not being attacked. We're not running through the jungle. Our heart's been broken. And all of this cortisol that we're now experiencing because we are stressed and in some level of anger, depression, shock, is taking all of the blood in our bodies and diverting it to our muscles. Now, unless we actually are running or doing some extremely extraneous activity, we're getting tense. When the muscles in the neck and the back begin to tense up, it gives us headaches. The muscles in the chest and the abdomen tense up, it can feel like somebody's sitting on us all the time. It makes it difficult to breathe. With all the blood in our muscles, our digestive systems are not working as they should be. Diarrhea, nausea, weight gain. Our immune system isn't functioning because it's not getting the oxygen that it needs. So on top of feeling sick, you're probably actually going to get sick, which is just not what you need right now. I think it can generally be agreed that being heartbroken is a god-awful, horrible experience, and nobody wants to be there. Nobody needs to be there. But when we're being told to get over it, to suck it up, to move on, how? How do you do that? How do you console somebody who is in a level that we've all been to, but there's nothing you can say? There are, however, things you can do. And the first one, and forgive me if this is going to be kind of a tough love day, but the first one you have to do, to move forward, is to feel the pain. There is no amount of pride or stubbornness or will that will get one through this. You have to feel the pain. They have to feel the pain. Just like with any kind of physical trauma, the body needs to heal. With an emotional trauma, your body and your mind need to process. It needs to go through it. Trying to tough one's way through it is only going to make it last longer. Give yourself an allotted amount of time. based on the relationship, based on the intensity of it, how long it was, whatever the factors may be, give yourself a chunk of time and just allow yourself, with no judgment, no malice, no beating yourself up, but just to feel the hurt. Feel the pain. Just let it flow through you. Let it happen. Because the sooner you go through, and this will not be the end of the pain. Oh no. I think you guys already know that. But it needs to happen. The second thing we do is to connect. Human beings are incredibly social creatures. We need to connect. We need to connect to our God or gods. We need to connect to, if applicable, we need to connect to our spiritual selves, to our friends, our family, our loved ones. We need to connect. Talk to your friends and to your family. Listen to what's going on in their lives for a minute. Put your own self down, and while it may still be going a million miles a minute, even though they're talking, put it down and be with them. Be on what's going on in their lives. Sit down with your God or gods and seek counsel. Sit down with yourself and listen to what your body is saying. Listen to the voice in your head. Listen to the things that it's telling you. Now, don't do the things that it's telling you. No, no, no. That's called prison, my friends. Don't do them. But listen. Listen to what is going on within yourself. Now, the third thing we need to do is to plan. Oftentimes when we're in a relationship, there is another person that we're accounting for. There is a solid, there is a truth that we are factoring for, that we are planning around to some degree. And that person's not here anymore. One way or another, that person is gone. So now what? Plan. What is it that you want to accomplish? What is it that your ideal life looks like? What is it that the best version of yourself looks like? What is it? Sit down and make a list. Sit down and write the things that you want to accomplish in your lifetime. Right? Several goals. Write down under each of those goals, when you have a chance, the steps that are needed to accomplish those. Write down some of the activities that you would be doing in your ideal lifetime. What are some of the things that make you happy? Sit down and write down some of the qualities, not specific people, that's important, but qualities of people that you want around you in your ideal life. Sit down and plan those things. Write them down. The next thing we have to do is self-esteem building and self-love. Now, nobody who's made it to adulthood has been spared a broken heart. And when we're there, we're pretty low. There's probably not much of anything left. I remember being there, and as far as self-esteem, there wasn't, self-opinions, there wasn't much of anything left. And for most of us, that needs to be built up anyways. So what we need to do here, and this part is incredibly important, is to build our self-esteem and our self-love. Now, the ways that we can do that is, firstly, to write out a list of all of the qualities in yourself that make you a good person. Maybe you are an amazing friend. Maybe you are very intelligent. You are very productive. You are really good at whatever it is, put it there. All the qualities that make you a good person, and write out under each of those examples, times that you've exhibited those qualities, times that you have shown those things. Then take that list of accomplishments. Not accomplishments, sorry, human. Take that list of goals that you have for yourself. Bring it down. And remember, we did say to write out each of the steps needed to complete those goals. Everything that would need to be done to accomplish that. A lot of times when I've noticed, we like to keep busy, right? Anything to be busy. Anything to keep from being in that HE double hockey sticks of an existence. Instead of keeping busy, or with busy work, do the things on that list to accomplish those goals, even if they're tiny, even if they're little. Do those things. Use those things to keep busy. And after you've done each of those tasks, reward yourself. Celebrate. Because not only will beginning to achieve the things that you want in your life actually get you closer to those goals, it will make you feel good. Because it does feel good to achieve one's objective. It does feel good to meet our goals. It reinforces to us that we are capable. Write down those in that list of qualities. Make a point each day to exude one of those qualities. Or if maybe your opinion of yourself is even lower and you don't have qualities, or there's more things that you want to be that would be a good person, write those down and look for opportunities to be those things. And keep track. Celebrate those little victories. And over time you can build yourself up into the better version of yourself that you're wanting to be. One of the last things we have to do, second to last actually, once we're able to, once we've been able to build ourselves back up a little bit into something resembling a person, is to forgive. Now this one actually can go one, two, hopefully both, but can go in two directions. Forgiving the other person and forgiving yourself. Now forgiving the other person, as they are human. Humans make mistakes. We all do. Forgive them. And forgiving them doesn't mean that you have to take them back. It doesn't mean you ever have to talk to them again. Chances are you broke up for a reason. But forgive them. Not because they deserve it. They might not. They might not have any semblance of remorse. They might be perfectly happy in their own little selfish universe or whatever it is. Don't forgive them because they deserve it. Forgive them because you do. You deserve to not have to carry that guilt, that anger, that self-questioning, that whatever it is that you're holding on to. You don't need to, and you don't have to. You don't have to hold it for them. They're human. Forgive them. And the other side of that is forgiving yourself. Perhaps you made the mistake, or maybe even through whatever circumstance, you weren't being treated right, you were being taken for granted, whatever it is that brought you to that point, maybe you did the leaving, and they're in a lot of pain. Perhaps it was the mistake, but whatever it was, forgive yourself, because you are human. Just like everybody else, you also make mistakes. And it is not your responsibility to have to hold that. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't help anybody. Forgive yourself and forgive them. Not because they deserve it, but because you do. And the last thing we do to move forward from our world being shattered, a broken heart, that the depths of despair, the bog of eternal stench, is to learn. Once you're able to shift from that anger, that heartbreak, that despair, and look at it as an experience. Look at it as a time of your life that in some way will make you smarter. Now the way that you do that is to look at the relationship as a whole and think, what can I take from this? What can I learn from this? Perhaps you have a better idea of qualities that you want in an ideal partner and qualities that you do not want in an ideal partner. Perhaps you know you've been able to figure out that maybe you're a little susceptible to certain triggers and that maybe you need to work on that. Perhaps you're now able to recognize certain things in other people now that you've encountered it. Whatever it is. Look at the situation and learn from it. What can you take from this experience going forward? This experience that has made you both wiser and smarter. And that's it. Those are my steps for how to move forward from a broken heart. Now there's no quick fix. There's no switch to just turn it off. There's not. It's a process. But at least doing some of these things, you can move forward for yourself. You can do the things that make you happy, that will allow you to love yourself truly. And doing these things for yourself and moving toward the better version of yourself will not just help you with love yourself, but will attract other people, the right people, to love you for the amazing person that you are. Stay kind, my friends. To others and to yourself. Be kind. I'll see you in the next video.